Braxton Miller, how are you, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Texans receiver. What's going on? How you enjoying this?
I love it. Just chilling out.
How'd things go for you this year in Houston?
I think
I know it was an up and down year, like
Yeah.
for the team in general, but how'd it go for you?
I think it went well. You know, when I got the opportunities that I made the best of them, and you know, just being professional, and you know, just keep working hard. I think it went good.
Is that ever difficult? You know, just to keep your composure, to stay positive, to not lose it, to not point fingers, to not call guys out, to not feel like you're not getting enough touches.
You know, I never was like that growing up. So, you know, when the opportunity comes my way, I make the best of it. You know, it's the NFL, so you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to win games. So, you know, when my number's called, you know, make the best opportunity possible.
What's the emotion like when obviously, I mean, you guys were just ravaged by injuries this year, obviously. It's like one guy after another. You got to be thinking, like, at the end of each game practically, especially, I mean, the one where you lose two of the best defensive ends in the entire game, you lose them in the same game.
Yeah.
When that happens, you got to be like, again? Like, what's next?
You know, the next man's up. You know, it's the NFL, so, you know, always prepare for the next guy, for the next reps. That's why we practice throughout the, throughout the week, get ready for the game, so everybody get the same amount of reps.
Now, I think let's talk about J.J. Watt a little bit. Now, we know what he did, obviously, for the city of Houston this year, incredible. I will praise that all day. I will take nothing away from it. Before that, guy got a lot of flack, I think, on social media for like the Letterman jackets, you know, a ways back, for being, you know, kind of cheeky, lame a little bit in the public eye. Wants you to know who he's dating, who he's thinking about dating. Give us some dirt on J.J. Watt.
I don't got no dirt, man.
Come on.
And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Well, I know that. I'm going to ask anyway.
I don't know. You might have to call him up and ask him.
Braxton.
But thank you.
Well, maybe.
What do you think about that? Like, you know, just to have a little fun here,
Sure.
I'm actually curious from your perspective.
Yeah.
There's an incredibly fine line between narcissism and proper branding.
Absolutely.
You know, we look down on some of that cheeky stuff.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you look at the opportunities that kind of interaction and creative output in content, both in social or on TV and film.
Yeah.
Where do you, like, just as a person, forget about
Sure.
what you're officially doing here.
Yeah.
What's your take on this modern media? I mean, I've been the huge beneficiary of that.
Sure.
As an early investor in Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
This is stuff that I kind of saw happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
are a media company
Digital.
That's right, but it's a media.
Yeah, well,
by
yeah,
the way,
absolutely.
a digital media company that has more, attention right now. The internet's attention and YouTube and social has
Absolutely.
way more attention than linear television.
Sure.
Where do you think athletes should be playing? Do you think it's team by team, player by player? Do you think there's ever too much exposure?
I think there can be overexposure depending on the individual, depending on the personality, depending on a whole variety of things. I mean, what's one thing that we say all the time in sports? It's that if a guy gives you nothing, he says nothing. Like you with J.J. Watt. If a guy gives you nothing, then you beat him up for not saying anything. But if a guy says too much and he calls a guy out and he dumps all over something, well, then you attack him for that. Where's the happy medium? You know what I mean? So that's sort of the weird world that we live in that sort of way, where it's, it's hard to ultimately evaluate, like, what's okay, what's not. Me as an individual, I like when guys open their mouths when they say something because it at least feeds content. It gives you something to talk about for one reason or another. But that has to be, as a player, something that's always in the back of your mind, right? Because there's always a camera, there's always a microphone, and now in this day and age with Twitter and cell phone videos and everything, like you're always under the microscope.
Yeah.
It's going to be nerve-wracking, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I always be aware of what I do, what I say, what I post.
And who you're with.
Yeah.
Brax, do you think because you were so high profile in college, which is different than a lot of other players' experience, that you were groomed for it a little bit early on?
I think so. I believe that. I had a lot of success early in my career at Ohio State, and I was very humble. A lot of things happened, on my shoulder, and it made me even more humble. So, I just fought back and get to where I need to be, and now I'm here now. So,
So what lies ahead? What's the future? What's Braxton Miller look like next year?
I wish I could tell the future. I'm just gonna work hard for the for the upcoming season, and just make sure I make the best of it. As always.
How much do you learn from a guy like Hop?
A lot. He's a pro. He's been doing this for years. and he's still young. So, I follow his lead. Especially being a vet as he is right now. He's been in the NFL for like 4 or 5 years now, and this off-season training, I do the same thing he does, same routine that he does throughout the whole year to stay healthy and stuff like that.
I got to know too, and I know we got to let you go and bring in another one of the guys here, but Bill O'Brien, and I'm a Patriots fan, so and going back to him being the offensive coordinator there and working under Belichick, he gets compared to him in some ways sometimes, just being a hard ass, being a drill sergeant, the real kind of aggressive mentality. Is he like that behind closed doors, or is there a softer side to Bill O'Brien?
There's two sides. There's two sides. Of course you got to be like that. Just be a coach. You coaching grown men every day. You got to be on all the guys like you usually be if you was coaching in college. So it's a process, man. But he got two sides.
All right. No good Bill O'Brien stories?
Nah. No good ones.
I'm proud of you, Braxton. Closed book.
Yeah, you guys.
That's some good work.
These guys are trained well, man. Thanks a lot.
Certainly are.
Yeah.
We'll let you go. We'll make sure we sign the football too.
For your drink.